1998 champions France are the Group G seeds. They'll be up against Switzerland, who last qualified in 1994, 2002 co-hosts Korea Republic, who finished fourth, and West Africa's Togo, hoping to cause a few surprises in their first visit to football's elite. Having set the world alight with their victories at World Cup 1998 and Euro 2000, it was a shock when France crashed out of the 2002 finals without a win and without scoring a goal. France's golden period was definitely over. New coach Raymond Domenech was charged with the responsibility of rebuilding La Bleu and guiding them through to Germany, which proved to be a much more difficult task than the group lineup, which included Minnows Cyprus and the Faroe Islands, suggested. Domenech's team struggled to win, drawing half of their games. But they did manage this away win to Cyprus with goals from Sylvain Wiltor and Thierry Henry. But their critics back home savaged them for the modest margin of victory. The French eventually qualified as group winners, but their form was far from convincing. So the prospects for France again look poor. But when you have the attacking brilliance of France's forward line, led by the irrepressible Thierry Henry, then there is always a chance that they might take a few scalps. One thing's for certain, they can't possibly do any worse than last time. After failing to qualify last time, Switzerland made amends this time around by getting through the playoffs. Their recent record in the competition is poor, but over the years they have made the quarter-finals on 3 occasions. Manager Kobe Kuhn's side managed to go a year and 14 games undefeated, but it was a very tight group. They racked up 4 victories, including this 3-1 defeat of Cyprus, thanks to goals from French-based strikers Alexandre Frey, Arsenal defender Philippe Senderos, and Lille midfielder Daniel Gigas. But their 6 draws in qualifying destined them to finish second to France. This meant a nerve-wracking playoff against Turkey. It was to be a memorable night for the Swiss, who went into the second leg with a 2-0 lead. Things started really well when Frey converted this penalty after only 2 minutes. But the Turks hit back 3 times and looked to be going through. Until Stuttgart forward Marco Strehler tilted the balance back to Kuhn's man. The Turks scored again with a minute to go through Fenerbahce forward Tuncay Sanli, but the Swiss held out and went through to Germany on away goals rule. The team marshalled by skipper Johan Vogel look a good bet to make it through to the second round. Veteran keeper Pascal Zubabula barks out commands at the back, while youngsters like Arsenal's Senderos are making their mark on the international game, and Alexandre Frey shows a killer instinct in front of goal. Maybe this time they can pip the French to win the group. Korea Republic have been the powerhouse of Asian football for a long time and set themselves a nigh impossible benchmark for the World Cup 2006 after their stunning effort to reach the semi-finals last time around. But that was a distant memory during their stuttering qualifying drive, where they lost 2 and drew 1 of their matches and sounded a note of caution. After opening with a home win over Kuwait in February, The then coach Joe Bonfrere's side were well beaten by Saudi Arabia in their second match, going down 2-0 in Dammam. Although they then defeated Uzbekistan 2-1 in Seoul. It took an injury time equaliser from debutant Park Chu-young to rescue a point in the return match in Tashkent. A 4-0 drubbing of Kuwait 5 days later secured their place at Germany 2006. But after a 1-0 home loss to Saudi Arabia in their final qualifier in August, Bonfrere resigned amid criticism of the team's lacklustre performances. The new coach is another Dutchman, Dick Advocaat, and he'll fancy his chances of taking second place in the group, as he can call on some experience as well as talented players. Park Ji-sung, now at Manchester United, provides a genuine attacking threat from midfield. There are plenty of options up front, meanwhile, in An Jun-hwan, whose golden goal defeated Italy, and Lee Dong-guk, the top scorer at the 2000 AFC Asian Cup. Their rivals for second place, Switzerland, who last reached the quarterfinals in 1954, had better watch out. West African minnows Togo take up the final place in Group G and are one of the 4 African teams making their first appearance in the finals.
Everybody think Togo, nobody knows Togo before. Now everybody see you say, I come from Togo, they say, World Cup. They never know where is Togo. When you say Africa, they say, now we know.
Coached by former Nigerian international Stephen Keshi, Togo's magical journey began somewhat unimpressively. But after an opening day defeat to Zambia, the Sparrowhawks embarked on an impressive unbeaten run, which took them to Germany at the expense of World Cup veterans Senegal.
You have to surprise people. Togo is not Brazil or Germany or France. And if one country win, you know that, okay, maybe tomorrow they will remember that they play and they win against Togo. It was not easy.
After Munich, Nuremberg is the second largest city in Bavaria. Historically, Nuremberg was one of Europe's most important and culturally privileged cities. It was the unofficial capital of the Holy Roman Empire and residence to many German kings. Nuremberg was also home to the famous artist Albrecht Dürer, who was one of the founding fathers of the German Renaissance movement. The medieval Altstadt had to be almost completely restored following the Second World War. Now returned to its former glory, its many cafes, bars and restaurants are sure to be popular with visiting support. Home to FC Nuremberg of the Bundesliga, the Frankenstadion has been completely redeveloped for the 2006 World Cup. The total cost of the stadium's renovation is estimated at €56 million. The 44,000-seat venue will host 5 games during the tournament and will stage its first match on the 11th of June when Mexico take on Iran. Located in the Baden-Württemberg region of southwestern Germany, Stuttgart is one of the most opulent World Cup 2006 host cities. In fact, it's one of the richest cities in all of Germany, which is reflected in the palatial surroundings, expansive parks and decadent city squares. Stuttgart is host to several wine festivals every year, and this is bound to ensure that fans attending the 6 World Cup matches in the city will be in fine voice. The extensive indoor market here is also likely to be popular with visiting supporters. You can find foods here from all over the world and is a good alternative to the pricier restaurants. Stuttgart is also home to Mercedes-Benz. One of their largest factories is based here, as well as the prestigious museum. At the museum, they have almost every model of Mercedes that has ever been produced, ranging from the first motorised carriages to modern-day Formula One racing cars. The first match to be played at the impressive Gottlieb Daimler Stadium will be France versus Switzerland on the 13th of June. There will also be a further 3 group matches here featuring the Netherlands, Spain and Croatia. The 54,000-seater stadium will also host a quarter-final as well as the third-place playoff match.